What Else Is New podcast. And this is definitely something that's What Else Is New. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit. So I think this will probably go out in mid-August or late August. So I want to just bring up a little bit, maybe early September. So that's how this is going out. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Maybe this, I don't know what to call this. Maybe anything can happen, or expect the unexpected, or welcome to golf. I mean, you could call one of those, but I want to talk to you guys for a few minutes about what happened to me this last Monday. So it was actually, so when you guys hear this podcast, it's probably a couple weeks ago, but it was actually what happened to me on the third Monday in August. And I'm in the South Central Section PGA. I'm a PGA member. I have been now for over 20 years in the South Central Section PGA. And one of the perks or the benefits, or what do you want to call it, of being a PGA member is you have the ability, or they allow you to play in section and national events. So I'm able to play in, they have chapter events, which are, just within our chapter. Basically, it's Oklahoma City and the surrounding areas. And then they have section events, which is Oklahoma, Kansas, for Southern Kansas, Arkansas, and then tip of Texas. And then they have national events, obviously covers the whole country. And I've been lucky enough, and I've been able to play in all different levels of that, and qualified for national events, played in local events, and played in the section events. And what they do, and what our section likes to do, is they tend to, from about June of every year, maybe late May, June, July, August, September, they like to have events on Mondays and Tuesdays, because most professionals, that's either their day off or a day they can take off. And so they try to play an event, have a fun event those days. Well, in our section, I'm in the South Central section. They have basically 3 majors a year. And what the majors are one of them is for us is the Hall of Fame Championship. And I was lucky enough to win that this year. So that was, I can toot my own horn on that. But anyway, I was lucky enough to win that this year. Then they have a match play championship. They have a junior one and a senior one. And then they have the section championships. And so they have a couple majors every year. And so it's kind of those are the ones you really gear up for. And it's kind of it's an honor to win those. And you try to, play hard and practice harder for those. Well, this past Monday, we had our match play. And I've won it. I've actually, between the junior and the senior version, I've won it 5 times. So I tend to be a pretty good match play player. And I think that's probably because of my short game. I mean, I think as I think about it, and I've watched over the years, I watched a lot of match play. I won, I did very well as an amateur in match play. And I've done better. I've done good in the South Central section, but I've won match plays a lot, and I've done very well in them. And I think it's because I'm never really out of a hole, meaning, pars do win holes in match play. They just do, even against really good players. And if you go out and make a lot of pars, and if a couple birdies or just make a lot of pars, you're going to win more matches than not. Okay. Because typically, you go out there and you make 3 or 4 bogeys, you're going to, in a good match play, you're going to get run over. And that's just kind of the way, in a good match play place. But anyway, so this last Monday, I was in in our match play, our South Central section match play, and it was at Stillwater Country Club. And Stillwater Country Club is home of Oklahoma State University, go Pokes. And okay, it's where I went to school. And we had a very strong field playing in this event. And the reason we had a very strong field playing in this event is because it's where a lot of the Oklahoma State golfers played their golf in college. So when we went to college at Oklahoma State, a lot of the Oklahoma State golfers played at Stillwater Country Club for years and years. And so that's kind of like our home base. In fact, the day before, I had a practice round with fellow Oklahoma State golfers, and I looked at 2 of them and I said, "Is there any course in this country you played more to this one?" And they're like, "Nope, this is it." So they wanted, it's kind of a reunion. So now, but remember, that's 30, 40 years ago for some of us that we were out playing this course, but still it's like a family reunion coming back to this course. So it was a lot of fun. So it was a very stout field. So anyway, we had this match play going on, and we played on the first round was a Monday. And there's a qualifying rounds getting into. I was lucky enough to be exempt not to get into that. And so the first match for me and for most of the group, or the people in the tournament, started Monday morning. And again, set a little tone here of what's going on. It rained hard on Monday. In fact, it started raining at about 1 or 2 in the morning, and it did not stop for the entire day. And it was hard enough rain in these rounds that when you leaned over a putt, water was dripping off your hat down to the ball. We were lucky that there was casual water. It wasn't enough to be off the golf course. There was no lightning, so we kept playing. But I'll tell you right now, if it was a PGA Tour event, they probably would have delayed it, because I can guarantee you there wouldn't have been any gallery out there. It was way too much water. So anyway, but we played. So we played in a lot of water and a lot of rain. My first match was in the morning, and I played against Brent Cryer, a very good friend of mine, another PGA pro here in Edmond, Oklahoma. And I played decently and beat Brant 4-3. So I was 4 holes up with 3 to play in match play, and I won 4-3. It was a good match. Brant and I both played okay. And I won 4-3. So then I got the afternoon. So I got to the quarterfinals. And I got in the afternoon match against Tracy Phillips. And Tracy Phillips, and give a little history about Tracy. First of all, Tracy's a friend of mine. Tracy's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And many of you may have seen Tracy, or you may have seen Tracy. They've had some specials on Tracy in the last year or two on the PGA channel and so on. Tracy is a senior tour player now that actually quit the game for 20 years. Now, I won't say quit the game. He taught for 20 years, but Tracy went to Oklahoma State, was an All-American for Oklahoma State, graduated Oklahoma State as an All-American. Then he went out and played some mini tour events, some tour events. And then he got what was called the driver yips, and he called it. And I've talked about this with Tracy a lot. And we talked about it last week again, when I played the practice round with Tracy. And it's basically, he got over the driver. He couldn't control it. I mean, he told me one time he went to Oregon and played in an event, and he got in the first tee. It was a tournament, a mini tour event, and he hit a drive and it went 60 yards right. He hit it long, but it went 60 yards right out of bounds. He got over the next drive and it went 60 yards left out of bounds. And the only way he could play the hole was hitting 7-iron down the fairway, because he was just in a panic. So Tracy quit the game. He literally quit playing golf. Now he taught. His dad, Buddy Phillips, is a head pro up in Tulsa, very respected head pro. In fact, a Hall of Fame member. And him and Tracy worked at Cedar Ridge Country Club, and phenomenal individuals. I mean, just this great guys. And Tracy taught and taught and taught and taught. So about 4 or 5 years ago, Tracy got the bug, and his dad was retiring, and Tracy said, I want to play again. So Tracy went out and tried to play again, and Tracy Phillips, quality guy, phenomenal player, past All-American. 2 years after he started playing again, or picked up the game and started traveling again, he actually got onto the senior tour. Meaning, if you're on this, where you guys may have seen him, he's been played in the senior PGA, he's played in the senior US Open, he's played in a lot of events on the senior tour. And they had a kind of an expose on Tracy and done very well. In fact, finished very high in some of these events. So he's a Champions Tour player, PGA Champions Tour player that plays in majors, qualifies for majors, and is just a great guy, really good guy. And obviously doesn't have the driver yips anymore, playing great golf. So I got paired against Tracy in the quarterfinals. So we're playing Stillwater Country Club, where Tracy was an All-American for a couple of years at a golf course, and Tracy's a couple of years older than me. And we start playing in this pouring rain. And I'm not going to go take this and make this a super long story, but it's probably something that should be written up in the annals of golf. And when we got done the round, people said that it probably should have. So we started out, and we played the first hole, and I'm not going to go hole by hole, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. But first hole's first hill's over the hill, par 5, about 520, 530 par 5. I'm up over a hill and down. Tracy birdies, did I make par? Tracy's one up. Okay, we get number 2, dogleg left, par 4, a little short par 4. I make birdie, Tracy makes par, we're back to even. We play the first 7 holes. Tracy's 4 under, I'm 2 under. So Tracy's 2 up on me. So I played the first 7 holes 2 under. Tracy's played the first 7 holes 4 under. This is in pouring rain, playing it from about 6,800 yards long. So we're playing it pretty long. Okay. And we're hitting hybrids into the par 3s. We're hitting fairway woods into the par 3s. And it's playing long. It's very wet conditions. And Tracy's 4 under through 7, and I'm 2 under through 7. I'm 2. So he's 2 up. Played good golf. I'm not complaining. Can't be upset about it. So he gets number 8. Tracy hits. He's got about 190 yards, 6-iron or 190 yard shot into the hole. I think he hits 5 hybrid, hits it a couple of feet, makes birdie. So Tracy birdies number 8. I make par. Number 9's a 203 yard par 3. Tracy hits fairway wood off the tee. Hits it 2 feet from the hole, makes birdie. I hit left edge of the green, 2 putt, make par. So Tracy has now birdied 8 and 9 to go 4 up at the turn. So I'm 2 under in the front 9, and I'm 4 down. Now I'll tell you right now, in 99% of my matches I play, I'm 2 under on these conditions on a course like this. I'm at least 3 to 4 up making the turn. I'm now 4 down. So Tracy has basically shot 6 under in the front 9, and we're making the turn. So I'm sitting on 10T. So I have a couple options. I'm 4 down, playing really good golf, and playing a guy who's playing even better golf. And I'm wondering, okay, what can I do? I mean, I literally, and it's pouring rain out. It's even raining harder now. It's raining so hard right now. Every stitch on me is soaked. I went into the clubhouse and got another hat and put it on my head at the turn because my hat was so soaked. I literally went to the car at the turn and put a different shirt on, a different jacket on. I've got about 10 towels in my cart with me. I've already gone through most of them. I mean, that's how wet we are. So I literally at the turn, I thought, I could just go home. Okay? I mean, I'm 4 down with a guy who's 6 under, or I can take the other option. What can I do? I can sit there and just say, I'm going to try to birdie every freaking hole in the back nine and see what happens. Okay. What the heck? I mean, there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. Okay. So I get a number 10, dogleg left par 5, hit a good drive, hit a 5 hybrid laid up short of the green, wedge it up close to the hole, make a birdie. Tracy birdies it. Okay. So Tracy hits it just like I did. He birdies it. I get an 11. This was classic. I hit a good drive down the middle. Tracy hits one middle left. I'm a little bit longer than Tracy. And I'll be honest with you guys, Tracy's a little bit longer off the tee than me, but this hole I happen to be a little bit longer than Tracy. So Tracy's out. Tracy hits his shot. He's kind of under a tree, hits it to the back of the green. He's about 30, 35 feet from the hole, back of the green, pins middle front. I wedge it in 2 feet from the hole. I literally give me putt. Tracy walks over his putt, makes his putt. So he birdies 11. I birdie my shot's a give me. I birdie 11. So we get on 12. So we both birdied 10, 11 now. I'm still 4 down. We get on 12. Uphill par 4. I hit 8 iron into the green. Tracy hit 8 iron into the green. I hit to the back edge of the green. And I really honestly don't know how I hit the back edge. It must have skipped somehow, but because I thought I hit a better shot. Tracy hits it about 3 feet from the hole, maybe 4 feet from the hole. I hit the back edge of the green. I'm about 30 feet from the hole. I hit my putt. It's about 2 feet from the hole. And I look at, as it's going in, I said, now it's my turn. I literally said that because it was going in and the ball went in. And Tracy starts laughing because he just made the 30 foot in the hole before. Tracy walks up, makes his putt. So I birdie 10, 11, 12. Tracy birdies 10, 11, 12. Okay. So we get at 13. It's a downhill dogleg right par 4. Okay. So we walk up on number 13. Tracy's got like 8 iron into the green. I think I had 7 iron into the green. I hit it right edge of the green. Tracy hits it up there and give me distance. Tracy birdies the hole. My shot's good. I walk up, I make mine. Shot's good. So we birdied 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have birdied the first 4 holes in the back 9 and I have gained 0 holes. Okay. I haven't gained a shot. I have not gained a hole. I'm still 4 down because Tracy has birdied 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay. But this is where it gets even better. Number 14 is an uphill 173 yard par 3. Kind of a blind shot. I mean, you can see the flag, you can see the green. It's a beautiful hole, but it's uphill enough that you can't see the cup. Okay. It's 173 yards. So I'm sitting in my car. I birdied the last 4 holes and I don't have the tee. Okay. Tracy still has the tee. I get up on 14 tee. I sit there and I sit in the car because it's pouring rain out. And I'm sitting in the car waiting until it's my turn. I'm going to hit 6 iron. I think Tracy's pulled out a 7 iron. I'm not sure what he's hit. And I'm sitting in my car. Tracy hits the 7 iron. And as I'm sitting in my car, kind of thinking what I'm going to hit, I hear this crash. And I'm like, is that a pin? It sounded like hitting a pin really hard. Okay. And I look at Tracy and I go, did you hit the pin? He goes, I think I did. I hit it pretty good. And I go, okay. So I go, okay. So I get my 6 iron. I hit a good shot to the right side. I don't know where it's at, but I think it's just right at the pin. We walk up there and there's 1 ball in the green. Now I'm hitting a yellow golf ball and it's a yellow ball and it's about 6 feet right of the hole. There's no other ball in the green. So we have 2 options here. Number 1 is he hit the pin so hard it shot off somewhere, or number 2, it's in the hole. Well, guess what? Number 2, it was. The ball is in the hole for a 1. So Tracy birdies 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and cans it off the tee for a 1 and 14 to win the match 5 and 4. Now, folks, I'm 6 under par through 14 holes, and I just got run over. I just lost the match 5 and 4 in a very difficult golf course. So that's what this podcast is all about. It is be aware. You don't know what can happen to you. And guess what? It's golf. Okay. It is golf. So Tracy, I look down in the hole. I see this white ball in there with a black stripe on it. Tracy's Titleist with a black stripe on it. He pulls out of the hole. I said, and I looked at Tracy and said, you must think I'm a really good golfer because you're having to hole it out to beat me in a hole. Okay. I've just birdied every hole in this back 9 or about to birdie every hole in this back 9. And I haven't gained. In fact, I'm 1 down. And he just starts laughing at me and he goes, yeah, I guess so. We walked off the green. I shook his hand, gave him a hug, walked off the green. What else do you do? So guys, this is what this podcast is about. And just talk to you for a few minutes. Welcome to golf. Welcome to how this game is played. Because I have played in matches, because I've played in hundreds of matches and I've won hundreds of matches. I've played in matches where I played 18 holes of golf and I've been 3, 4, 5, 6. I've been worse than that 7, 8 over in 1 matches. And now I officially can tell you, I played in a match that was 600 through 14 and got crushed. He literally got beat 5 and 4. He was 5 holes up with 4 to play. Didn't even play the last 4 holes. And yes, you guys are probably thinking right now, he should have played the last hole, see if he shot competitive course record. What have you done? No, that's not the way match play works. There was a few putts that were inside the leather that were given to him on the front. So he never, but you don't count course records on match play, but think about it. The biggest advice I can give you is you always have to play your own game. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. Okay. And this just happened to be a time I could have played the others there. I was in the quarterfinals. So there's 8 people. Okay. There's 8 people that are playing matches at that time. Me, Tracy, and 6 others. I promise you, I played the other 6, those 6 individuals. Nobody even gets close to me. In fact, I probably beat them 5-4. Okay. I don't know what their scores were. I didn't look at cards or so on, but I promise you I did. There's no way I lose those matches. I just happened to get paired against the individual who had an incredibly hot round, who was playing incredibly good. And yes, he's an incredibly good player. Okay. He's a phenomenal player, but I got to play against him at the wrong time. And that just happens. It's just golf. And all you can do, because I've had a couple people, I've told the story now, a newspaper contacted me, wanted me to write this up because this is a pretty special story. I've talked to a couple of people in my section about it, and so on. And they're like, one piece, were you upset? I said, no, I wasn't upset. How can you be upset about that? There's no way to be upset about that. I play good golf. I did all I could do. I mean, and I can't sit there and say, I could have birdied more. No, there's no way I could have birdied more. I mean, guys, number one, I played my hardest. Number two, the thing I'm proud about is I didn't give up at the turn. I easily going into number 10 said, forget it. I'm done. He's just shot 400 in the front. Okay. He birdied the last 2 holes, 2 of the hardest holes in the golf course. He's playing great. It's pouring rain out here. It's not warm. It's cold. Okay. I'm soaked to the bone. Literally, my hands were pruning up. I was so wet. Okay. I'd gone through 4 gloves already in the front 9. It was so wet out there. Okay. I could literally have just dialed it in, but I didn't. And it was interesting because the quality player, Tracy, as you could see that. I mean, I went out there, I went at it. And what did he do? He even stepped up a little bit. He even kicked it up a notch. So on the back 9, he's actually 6 under through the first 5 holes. Think about that. That's crazy. But you love watching. And here's the other thing and I talk about this a lot. And in fact, I had a conversation with my staff this morning. They were talking to me about this. And they said, we're talking about when we take our golfers on the golf course and we take our students on the golf course and we're showing them different shots. And then we let them go play different shots. And we're surprised at this club selection. They pick from certain shots. We're like, why are you doing that? I mean, it's a lot easier to do it this way, or it's a lot easier to do this, or I can't believe you're doing that. And I'm talking to my staff. I said, I think it's for a couple fold. Here's number one. Number one is that they don't experience it enough. A lot of our students don't play enough or practice enough of those real life situations, like practice on the golf course. So they feel those situations or get to test it out a lot. That's number one. Number two is I don't think a lot of our players, a lot of our people we teach play with players that are better than them and significantly better than them. And I'll tell you right now, Tracy Phillips is a better player than me. And I will tell you straight out, he is. I haven't played in Champions Tour events like he has. I haven't played as many majors as he has. I haven't done that. He's a better player than me. So when I get to go out and watch him play golf, I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly analyzing. I'm not saying, Tracy. I'm watching the shots he hits. And I watched him hit some of those beautiful high hybrid and fairway woods into these par 3s that were amazing. I mean, he was hitting hybrids and fairway woods that were higher than I can imagine and stopping him on a dime. I was like, how impressive that was. Number 9 at Stillwater Country Club, the pin is back left on a shelf. It's playing 203 yards in the rain. And all I know is that normally for me, that's a hard 4 hybrid to get there in this day and age. Maybe a 5 hybrid with some skip. That's a 4 hybrid. And I think Tracy played a 5 wood into it. He was either a 5 or 7 wood into it. And he hit this club and it went straight up in the air and literally hit on the back shelf and skipped about a foot. And the only reason it did that, number one, is because it was wet out. But number two is, and the greens were relatively soft, but number two was how high he hit the shot. If that shot would have come in low or medium height and he hit back there, it was skipped off in the back bunker in a heartbeat. It was fun watching the shot. And I kept thinking, man, I've got to work on that shot. I've got to work on being able to hit a higher hybrid or fairway wood into some of these pins. But it's required. When Tracy plays in his events and he goes out there and he's playing on the road and he's playing in these majors, these championships, that's the shots that are required. And so he plays up a notch or two. So when you sit there and say, how does somebody like Tracy get better like that? It's because he's playing with guys that are much better than him. When I played in the practice round with him on Sunday, he talked about playing with Ernie Els. When he played in the Senior US Open this last year, he played with Ernie Els for 2 rounds and had a blast. And he said that Ernie could not have been a sweeter guy. He said Ernie's even called him and talked to him since then. They're almost friends now. And he said he's just a sweet, nice guy. And it was great being on the golf course with him. It was so fun watching Ernie. And Tracy's known for his short game. He has a phenomenal short game. And even Ernie made comments on how good Tracy's short game was, a couple during the 2 rounds. But so Tracy's watching those better players and he's learning from them. And then I'm getting to watch Tracy and learning from him. So when you're talking to the guys when I'm talking to you guys at home, what better players do you play with? And I'm not talking go out and play with tour players. If you're 20 handicapped, do you guys go out and play with scratch players or guys that are 10 handicaps? If you're just getting into the game, do you guys go out and play with guys that can break 90 or break 80? I mean, it's a lot of times it's uncomfortable situations because when you go out and you're playing with people that are better than you, you're looking at, okay, they're waiting on me or they don't want to watch my game and so on. But that's not true. I can tell you right now, I mean, I consider myself a decent player. When I play with players that are as good as me, it doesn't bother me a bit. I mean, as long as they're playing decently speed, okay? I'm not talking about playing really slow golf, but if they're keeping up with the pace, which is average golfer's pace, and they're out there playing golf, I have no problem with it. And even when they're asking me questions, why did you do that? How come you hit this shot? Or just, wow, that's kind of, why did you do that? I have no problem with that. It's kind of actually, it almost kind of strokes your ego a little bit. If they come to you and say, hey, I saw that was a really cool shot you had that bunker. How'd you do that? Or why'd you do this? Or, you bump and run that up there versus fly on the green. Why'd you do that? Most good players don't have a problem with that. We actually kind of respect it and we kind of, can kind of stroke our ego a little bit. But that's the biggest thing I can tell you right now. And I really want to emphasize that is try to get out and play with better players than you. Okay. I'm not talking again, going to play with tour players or guys like that. No, because when you play with better players than you, remember, everybody was where you are at one time. Just remember that. Nobody started, they weren't given the gift of golf and all of a sudden a scratch player or a 10 handicap. Everybody started at the same place you did at one time or went through that. All of us couldn't break 100 at one time. All of us couldn't break 90 at one time. All of us couldn't break 80 at one time. That's the way golf is. Now, some may have started younger, some may have started older, whatever. Okay. But to go play with guys who have accomplished what you're trying to accomplish is huge because you will see the way they act, the way they react, the way they approach different things, the way they approach different shots, the way that they go and work their way around it. Because that's what golf is. It's the way you act and react on the golf course and the way you approach different situations and different shots. And then the biggest thing you'll see with players that are better than you is they're constantly analyzing the odds of creating or developing or having a certain shot. Like, for example, they may be behind a tree in a shot and they're looking at this tree and you may think, oh, I'm going to go over it. And they're thinking, what's the risk if I try to go over it? Can I go around it? Can I go under it? Can I get the sides of the where that's the way they're thinking, the better players are. And so when you watch this, talk to them about it. Sit there and say, why did you go into that, not over it? I mean, I probably would have gone over that or whatever it is, or watch the way they play into the wind. Why? That's one thing I saw with Tracy the other day. We played a practice run. It was a little bit windy out and I was watching Tracy tee up this ball pretty low. And I was like, wow, he's teeing that lower than I would have thought. And he's seeing this hard cut into the wind and getting good distance on it. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking, that's pretty impressive. He's and the way he was working over the shot and hitting the shots into the wind. I was like, that's what you want to watch. So guys, am I tooting Tracy's horn? Sure. He's a phenomenal player. In fact, that's why he comes in these events and wins a lot of these events and gets to play with the big boys out there. But a couple things, and I'm going to leave it here with this podcast is number one, you can only play your game. Do the best you can. The other people you're playing with, playing against, you have no control over what they're doing. And sometimes if you're playing against them, sometimes they're just playing better than you. Sometimes they're not. That's just the way it is. Always control your own game and play the best you can play. Don't let those around you affect you. That's number one. Number two is I strongly suggest if you can at any time or all the time, or even if you get a couple chances to do it, play with better players. Even if you need to go play in a pro-am. Go into if you got some local pro-ams, maybe it's a pro-am for your state amateur, your state open. I mean, we have some state opens here, in the local states, and they have pro-ams around those. Go play in a pro-am. Don't be embarrassed by it. Even if you can't break 100, it's fine. Go play with better players and just watch what they're doing. And then talk to them a little bit about it. Nobody's going to be shy. All golfers are good people. They'll talk to you about it. Just talk to them. Say, hey, I saw that. That was kind of interesting. Maybe the 19th hole after the round and you're drinking a beer with them, whatever. Talk to him about, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Learn from him. It's a big deal. When you can see it, I always like to say, monkey see, monkey do. When you can see it and you've actually seen it pulled off, it's much easier to do it. And I suggest doing that. So guys, don't let the other players around you affect you. Things just happen, whether it's good or bad. Try to play with better players. Try to do that. It's a great eye-opening experience. And it really helps your own game. And I promise you will. Okay. So guys, hopefully the next match I'm playing, I don't get against a guy who shoots 10 under through however many holes or goes out there and going to shoot a course record. And I would assume that I'm never going to be playing in a match again that ends with a 1. I will say that, lightning does strike twice, but I hope it doesn't. It's okay to me. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this podcast. And guys, I'll talk to you guys real soon.